Hello everybody and welcome back to Watching Walford. I'm Ash, it's a bit early for me, but we're going to go ahead and talk about Coronation Street revealing, well, not Coronation Street rather, but Digital Spy compiling every 2024 spoiler announced so far. Now I've got a little theory that's going to surround the Bethany Platt stuff and the Lauren storyline that's been teased for like the last year. So look forward to that, but I'll go through it. Some of the stuff I've covered on the channel already. Some of the stuff I've not mentioned before. Alright, so let's start off. And yes, the Bethany Platt and Lauren storyline, which you'll notice will intertwine. Well, just know that I've got a little theory about that. I've got a little bit of a theory, so that'll be a lot of fun. So let's get into it. So the first storyline that I've talked about is obviously Bobby's huge storyline. Bobby being comedian, actor Jack O'Connell. What's his name? Jack Carroll. Fuck it. Never get this man's name right. But yeah, essentially says Coronation Street introduces Carla's nephew, Bobby. It's on the show, and the show's Christmas episodes, shaking up the life of the factory boss shortly after the emotional departure of her husband, Peter. Obviously, on Boxing Day, it's a two-hander, where we essentially see that Peter and Carla realise that maybe, as much as they love each other, maybe they aren't gonna, I don't know, maybe they aren't the way that they become happy, you know? Maybe that's not the happy ending for them. And it says that Bobby makes his first appearance on Wednesday, December 27th, and he's in Weatherfield to stay. It shows have tipped him for a huge 2024 storyline. Coronation Street producer Ian McLeod has recently commented, as a slightly more long-range tease is going to end up surprising in the centre of perhaps our biggest story next year, which I can't say too much about now. I kind of assume that maybe he'll be involved in this as well. He's got a brilliant, classically Coronation Street roleplay at the start as a slubball, sarcastic, classic, Corey, feckless male. Then he abruptly finds himself in the middle of this huge story. Really excited about this role in the next 12 months and beyond. Okay, so yep, there we are. I've talked about this before on the channel, so there's not much. Obviously, initially expect him to be the wisecracking, sarky, but also completely blissfully unaware, and there's no fucking clue what he's actually doing or saying. He's probably going to upset Carla a bunch at the start, but he's going to grow on her because he's going to realise that, you know what, he's actually quite sound. Next up, Daisy and Bethany's battle for Daniel. I don't think this one's going to last too long. I think Bethany's going to be a bit too, a little bit too busy to, or maybe it will. Who the fuck knows? It suggested that maybe they will, I guess it would be too easy to have this happen, but I don't know. I feel like Bethany's probably not going to be dealing with this so much. Like, it'll be a bit of affection, but I don't really know. But then again, I guess they're wanting to build all the parallels between Ken, like Ken and, fuck, who's Barlow? Oh, I forgot one of the most iconic. No, that's Ken Barlow and Adam. Is Adam's dad? Fuck no. Fucking Baldwin. There we are. Jesus Christ. Got there in the end. Sorry. I've not really been a big Corey the fan this year. It's really taken a lot of my memory out. Yeah, I guess this does expect that the Daisy, Bethany, Daniel story is going to continue into 2024. Gloyd says, the terrible executive producer says, as Daniel's ex-fiancée Daisy eventually regrets the breakdown of their relationship and hopes to win him back. Ian McLeod teased Bethany's arrival very much sharpens Daisy's focus in terms of how she feels about Daniel. Suddenly, with this guy that she may have been starting to move away from, there's romantic throughout on the cards, and that recalibrates how she feels about the whole enterprise. Really brilliant classic soap story. It's going to run deep into the next year as all these unresolved feelings are buried, but like all good feelings, they come back to the surface with a bang or two across the following 12 months. Okay, well, I completely made shit up. Bethany is a slightly different proposition now from what we last saw her. There's been a number of years that have elapsed. She's grown up quite a lot, and she's had the beginnings of quite a successful journalism career in London. Turns back and is instantly a foe for Daisy. They're very evenly matched now. Bethany might have once seemed like a younger woman or a girl, but she's much more of a woman now. More on Daisy's level, so there's a real heavyweight tussle between these two women. I'll say this already. Between the constant stopping-starting nature of the Daisy-Ryan relationship, I guess I just have to commit to realise that maybe Daisy and Ryan aren't the end goal. They really should be. But you know how soaps get. It's going to be a big old tussle. They want it to be like fucking Carla and Leanne with Peter. And they'll just be having a meltdown. So I've had enough. Had enough. Aside from the love triangle plot, Bethany takes it into stage in one of Corrie's biggest storylines for 2024. Ian McLeod says, much like Bobby, Bethany also finds herself in the center of this huge story that we've got next year. So she's coming back with this clear romantic purpose in the Daniel story, but then it'll fairly quickly find herself in the middle of this massive story that's going to span most of next year's exciting stuff. Look. What I think this is going to be, and this is what I've been teasing the whole time. So we know that Lauren has recently had a new boyfriend as such. She's been getting expensive gifts and bribery. She's a young teen who is constantly, flaking out, had a dodgy path and a dodgy upbringing. I don't know if she's 17 because she was underage in terms of she wasn't able to do the stuff. I think that Bethany's going to get involved because I feel like Nathan or Neil, I don't remember which one Bethany was with. I feel like Nathan or Neil are going to come back in some form. Whoever proceeded to basically whoever caused the most problems for Bethany. I think Nathan. Yeah, Nathan is gonna. Yeah, I feel like Nathan will proceed to come back in time, and because I don't think we ever knew how long they were sentenced to prison for, so I wouldn't be surprised if on good behavior, he is a former police officer. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan gets out and he is the one who's been kind of doing it again. But I think the difference will be now that Bethany's like a woman, like a full adult and a journalist as well. I feel like a lot of it will be trying to take down and trying to convince Lauren away from Nathan, and which will lead to a big explosive storyline. Obviously, this abuse will resonate. I say resonate. It'll obviously come back to haunt Bethany a lot. I feel like she'll be quite stable at the start, and she'll kind of start to really struggle a bit, realizing and once again coming to terms with all of the abuse that she suffered at the hands of Nathan. But I do think that it's also because Lauren has been tipped for a very big storyline next year. And like I said, similar to Bethany, she's a pretty rough life. She's had a really dodgy relationship with men, and also has been groomed before. Is there a chance they revisit this grooming storyline with a returning Bethany and a, still very impressionable Lauren? She's been getting very expensive gifts with no real reason to show where they came from. I wouldn't be surprised if they revisited this again. I could be wrong, but the show does love its callbacks currently. It's kind of, that's the only reason why it's staying relevant at this point. I do love to rehash some old stuff. I'm not sure what Bobby's role is going to be in it, but there we are. That's what I think. I think that Lauren will be involved with Nathan Curtis, and Bethany will have to be like, yo. Bethany will play more of the Shona role and be like, yo, this is fucked up. This is so wrong. How has he gotten out? And it'll be a big campaign over the next year to get him back in. Tell me if you think that's true or not. There we are. That's my theory. Paul's final moments. Paul Foreman's tragic death is likely to occur in 2024, as the doctor informed in November they only had 6 to 12 months to live. Paul had previously confided in Todd Graham's show about his plans to take control of his own death with an assisted dying plan once his motor neuron disease symptoms get worse. Show has not confirmed whether he'll ultimately go ahead with this or not. Speaking earlier this year, Peter Ash, who plays Paul, commented, Ian McLeod said they had a big storyline for me and it would be a great thing to do, but unfortunately it would mean an eventual exit. I had mixed feelings, obviously. It would be sad to leave the show, but it's been such an amazing trip and met so many fantastic people. But I'm also quite happy to be involved in a powerful story that will hopefully bring awareness to MND, and also going to be quite a progression of Paul's illness. I still have my difficulties with the MND storyline, because it's hard to really care dramatically when you just don't really like the family involved. I don't like Paul, I don't like Gemma, I don't like Bernie, I don't like Billy. The closest I like is Todd. I dislike Summer. And I try not to be overly negative, but just the Winter family are fucking cheeks. It's that garbage comic relief, but I just really dislike it. And that's why it's been such a drag to see. It's been told very well. You know, they've been doing a really good job with it, and it's fair play. But I do think it'll be like a Lola situation from EastEnders, where as much as you may enjoy Paul, I don't. As much as you may enjoy him, you got to admit that this storyline, beyond the grooming storyline, like his sexual abuse when he was a kid, beyond that storyline, this will probably be the best thing that he'll have been allowed to do on the show. And it's not for lack of talent, because he has been very strong in terms of being able to rise to tell these big stories. But fundamentally, it's hard to say, oh, this character's dying. Why? Because we don't fucking want them on the show, do we? Like, we're just trimming the fat. It's like, for fuck's sake, lads. Maybe I'm just very bleak, maybe that's just what I'm dealing with right now, but it's just a bit of a ball ache, isn't it? I mean, if you want to correct me, tell me in the comment section down below. Linda returns. Jacqueline Leonard is heading back to Coronation Street for a longer stint, reprising her role as Joseph's maternal grandmother, Linda Hancock. Linda arrives back following a troubled time for the Winter Brown family, with Joseph seemingly avoiding school and Gemma currently under wrongful suspicion of deliberately poisoning her stepson. Ian McLeod explains, Joseph's fairy godmother turns up in the shape of Linda. She's decided she's going to fix this and starts throwing money at the situation, which puts Chesney and Gemma in an impossible quandary. In that, by accepting financial help from Linda, they're giving up control of Joseph's life. They feel this is our son and we should be making these decisions. Doesn't feel right that Linda's waiting over the checkbook and saving the day, but on the other side, they have to prioritise what's right for Joseph, who's having a hard time and could do with this with the support. He said, this story is going to be a long runner for us. I suppose the tease I might give you is we're taking the very original story played with Ken Barlow for our inspiration. For inspiration of this dates back all the way back to 1969, so what happens next. And it will be the catalyst will be Linda's arrival. So is it just I don't fucking care. Sorry. Uh, we're gonna do a brand new storyline. It's like the first one that was on the show with Ken Barlow. So it's someone being a bit more affluent than everybody else and wanting to have better things, but ultimately they are just in a working class cobbles. Stop it, lads. Stop. Who cares about this fucking storyline? Who cares about Gemma and the quads, man? Who cares about fucking Linda Hancock? They really need an... I know people groan about this. They need a new executive producer, please. You're fucking putting Coronation Street in the bin. Nobody has a... Everybody's been Gaelified. Everybody just says, "Ooh, ma'am. Ma'am, it's alright, ma'am. Ma'am." Stop it. Like, I don't understand what they think is good about this year of Coronation Street. It's been okay. It's not been great. The acid attack stuff was very good. That was enjoyable. The Stephen Reed stuff was fucking garbage and always was and always will be. But they're fucking acting like it's their modern day Richard Hillman. It's not, lads. It's really not. Richard Hillman was sinister. Stephen was fucking stupid. I just think that the show's in a dramatic need of a personality change. It needs to realise what makes it good. And, you know, this is mostly just a news show, but fuck me, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just disenfranchised with it. Maybe this last year's been so rough in terms of actual storylines I like. Maybe I just need to give it more time. I've been a fan for years now. This is like my 4th year watching Corrie. And I've watched 2018, I watched 2019, I watched 2000. Like, I probably watched the most extra of Coronation Street than I have of any soap. But man alive, do I really think it's in a bad place? Because all the characters are fucking one note. Nobody cares about Ed Bailey gambling. Nobody likes the fucking guy. Just... Their priorities are all over the fucking shop. Damon and Harvey's return. Damon Hay makes his comeback in the first episode of 2024 as Kieran Griffiths reprises the role. The bad boy returns with a bang, seeking revenge on Adam Barlow with a dramatic kidnap plan. Damon is forced back down from his ruthless schemes when his focus shifts back to winning back Adam's estranged wife Sarah. This paves the way for Adam to turn to the dark side instead. He seeks help from Damon's jailed half-brother, Harvey Gaskell, who killed Sam's mum. Ian McLeod warned as Damon's calming down, Adam's going in the other direction, plans to get rid of himself to rid himself of Damon. Simply a little visit to Damon's half-brother Harvey, because he's no fan of Damon's either. Might form an unholy alliance, have a shared problem in the form of Damon, and they think they can help each other in that regard. Liam's bullying ordeal is resolved. Yeah, Liam Connor getting a big storyline. Although there are dark times ahead for schoolboy Liam Connor in 2024, showboss have promised that he ultimately gets his happy ending. Liam is currently being bullied by a schoolmate Mason Radcliffe, who recently threatened him with a knife. Ian assured us we wanted to have some positive messaging as well, so the outcomes of the people in the worst of it will be good, and when they seek help they will receive it, and they'll then be on a positive trajectory forward. But before that, it's an in-depth exploration of teenage mental health and bullying. If we get it right, as it looks like we're going to, I'm really proud of it. Does he think that the show's been good? Because I think he believes that what they're doing's good. And I don't think there's... I mean, he's not been fucking told to not do it. You know, he's... Like... I just... You know, maybe tell me otherwise. Addie and Amy's romance. Addie Alaham recently covered for Amy Barlow when she tried to take revenge on a predator who was spiking women's drinks at the local club. Showboss had promised that this moment would mark the beginning of a change in Amy and Addie's relationship, which explored in 2024. The story is really significant, staging post of our ongoing fostering of this closeness between Addie and Amy. It's them being best friends, having each other's back, come what may. It's a really, really long-range love story we're able to tell with them. It's really going to engage our audience. It's no secret that the Rovers Return opens its doors again on New Year's Eve after Daisy Missy resorts to drastic measures to figure out Stephen Reed's online passwords to get access to missing underworld money. The Weatherfield locals celebrate the Rovers' rises from the ashes, but will Daisy end up regaining her actions? The interesting thing is that the circumstances of it become open and are all tied with Stephen's legacy. Who cares? Sorry, this has been really negative. I do apologise. Somebody will do something at the best, naughty at worst, slightly criminal to get their hands on the keys of the pub and reopen it. So it will reopen, but the reopening will be based on slightly shaky foundation for criminal act. I suppose viewers will be wondering, well, okay, so the pub is open, but what disaster will befall the person that's allowed that to happen? But it's all based on this misdeed they've committed. We didn't want it to just open up again. It's kind of, I know, it was like nothing had ever happened. We want to open it with kind of buried bomb underneath that will explode later in 2024. The show is giving us no reason to fucking care. The most interesting things that you've teased for early 2024 is Bethany returning. And Jack Connell. That's it. That's all you're teasing for the thing. Yeah, just keep watching. It'll be the same shit. Coronation Street Christmas episode see Michael Fatigan making a first appearance as Moses, a new personal assistant for Paul Foreman. Todd is met when he first meets Moses, and their connection will be first explored in January 2024. Ian McLeod told us there's a dalliance for Todd, but it arrives at quite a poor time, and the person with whom he has a connection is probably not ideal in terms of the situation that Todd meets him in. This time it's a little lonely. It's only a little test drive of this relationship with the person. It's not very long running, but we thought that if we like what we see, it might go on to be running later on. Stu Carpenter makes a difficult confession during the Christmas period as he admits to bribing Dom to stay away for good. This show has confirmed that the repercussions of the decision will play out into 2024. Christmas will be upsetting for that family in a way that will trigger something bigger as we head into early New Year and spring. Who cares? Who the fuck? Man. Simon and Sam's car crash. Alex Bain and Jude Riordan, who play Simon and Sam, recently filming an upcoming car crash storyline. Simon is driving Sam to school when he suffers an accident on the road. Both make it out unscathed as Simon appears to be panicking, but he leaves the vehicle clutching a mysterious brown envelope. More will be revealed in early next year. Yep, there we are. That's 2024 Coronation Street Spoilers. Are you excited? Because if you are excited, I do genuinely want to know. Just because I'm jaded on the show and think it's been absolutely fucking mid this year, doesn't mean that I'm not. Like, I am. I do love Coronation Street. For a couple of years now, till this one, it's been my favourite soap of the year. But this year was just a fucking kick in the teeth, and maybe I'm just moving away from it. But, man alive, can we just get out of this, please? Can we change the producer? Can we just do something else that will liven up the show? Get new writers in that will actually use a lot of these characters. Remember that a lot of them are actually characters and have depth, not fucking, oh, you're right, ma'am. Oh, ma'am, what are you doing that for, ma'am? That's all they're doing. Remember when Gail did a fantastic monologue talking about how you never really know what's going on behind closed doors? I don't know, sorry, I do apologise, I try to not be negative, but if there's one thing that I'm pretty sad to say, it's that through the year, I just don't like Coronation Street anymore. Like, I welcome it getting good again, but ultimately, it's just not been in a good place, and I feel like it's making a fucking waste of a lot of the characters. So, yeah, there we are. Sorry if it's a much more dour note for this one, but it's just, I love Coronation Street, but to see it in the place that it is, it's just pretty fucking hot garbage, and I'm upset to say that, but if I have annoyed you or upset you, fair enough. Watch the EastEnders content. It's much more uplifting, much happier. But yeah, bloody hell. Fuck's sake, lads. Sort it out, alright? You got so many talented casts. You got so many talented writers. Why are you fucking putting out shit? Oh, we want this one to be like Ken and Deirdre. How about you make it fucking these two characters? We want these two to be like Jack and Vera. How about you make them their own characters? So in 40 years, you're not calling them Jack and Vera, you're calling them Fizz and Tyrone. Oh, well, there's going to be a big love triangle. It's going to be callback to Deirdre and Mike Baldwin and Ken Barlow. How about you make your own love triangle that doesn't relate to anything else that you've done before? Oh, this story's going to be like the start when Ken Barlow was on the square. Who cares? Who cares? We're all going to have these really long-running storylines in case you weren't fucking tired of the rest of these. Like, lads, the fucking drip's empty. You've tapped all of its resources. Just carry on. Just change what you're doing. It's not working. You're draining the show. Oh, fuck me. But yeah, there we are. That's all of Coronation Street's really big 2024 plans. Yay. Thank the Lord. Fuck's sake. You could be doing so much better, but you're choosing to continue with all the shit you've been putting out. Like, what's wrong with yous? Let's thank you for watching. I do apologise, it's been a much dour note, but look, it's not my fault Coronation Street's been in the fucking bin this year. I'm just a tired fan, tired of constantly trying to keep up with the shit. That is Coronation Street this year. EastEnders best soap of the year, without fail. Thank you for watching. Join me in the next time. I've been Ash from Watching Walford. Continue watching the channel. Maybe you didn't like this one. Well, probably won't be as much Coronation Street coverage in the next year unless it fucking changes. Thank you for watching. Make sure to keep following all the social medias. Instagram, X, and Twitch at Watching Walford. I've been streaming on my personal Twitch channel. That's at AquaDreams. And as always, if you want to go follow our friend Slater Mine 2049 2Es, go ahead and do that. Thank you for watching. Join me in the next time. Bye-bye.